Chief Executive Officer ShaDonna McPhaul, also known as Mo, is a combat veteran with 20 years of loyal service to the United States Air Force. She merged her compassion and entrepreneurial spirit and created Mo's Hero Incorporated, which you're going to get to hear all about, and the Mo marketing and media consulting services. We're going to get right into that, and you're going to get to meet ShaDonna after this quick intro.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard all across the World Wide Web. I'm super excited to have all of you that are coming on in across all of our streaming platforms. Hello to those coming from Facebook. Hey, Mom, that's Betty. Y'all know she hangs out with us on Facebook. Hey, Tina, thanks for stopping by. Hey, girl, hey. For all of those, again, across Facebook, my business page, my personal page, my Hey Girl, Hey group, hey there. Those that are listening from Periscope, give us some hearts. And by way of Periscope, Twitter, shout us out. Thank you so much. Reshare and all of that. And those that are catching this in YouTube, we appreciate you. And then certainly all of our podcast listeners that check us out in iTunes and Stitcher and all of that great stuff. We're excited to have you. Let me shout out some more people. Hey, Garland, thanks for stopping by and checking us out here on the show. And so this segment is brought to you by my latest book collaboration called Pour: The Secret Effects of Giving and Serving in Business and in Leadership. And so you want to pick up a copy of that. Listen, it is a great stocking stuffer for any women in your life that are leaders, aspiring leaders, emerging entrepreneurs. You can pick up a copy at Sharvette.com, right there on the homepage. Just scroll down. All right. So we are excited to have ShaDonna hanging out with us in the virtual studio. So let me, as I know all of the streaming platforms are just building up the audience saying, hey, come on and listen. Let me tell you a little bit more about her, and then I'm bringing her up to the mic, literally. So as the Chief Executive Officer and founder, ShaDonna McPhaul has a vision, and her vision is so huge. She had a vision for Mo's Heroes to be the conduit to provide the support veterans, service members, and their family members need to achieve their personal and professional goals. She has been featured in GI Jobs magazine, Be Encouraged magazine, the Huffington Post. You might have seen her on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, all of that. And she is also a co-author in an amazing book called Shift On, and a co-author in the book, The Voices Behind Mental Illness, an anthology. And she is currently at the helm of the Mo, marketing and media consulting services, and she's hanging out with us today. I am bringing ShaDonna up to the mic without further ado. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you?
Hey, girl. Hey, how y'all doing?
We are super excited to have you hanging out in the virtual studio, literally with a real mic. Like, can we talk about this bedazzled mic?
Yes, absolutely. The Mo, mic. Shout out to Miss Gina Murray for bedazzling my mic. I had another little mic. Let me see if I had it. And I used to have the thing on, and I had this.
Oh,
and she was like, no, ma'am. Let me get you right.
Let me bling you out. Hello to my sister Kim hanging out over here on Periscope. Thank you for stopping in. All right, so let's go back. I'd love for you to share with the audience. Thank you first of all for your service to the United States. As a veteran. So let's go back. 20 years of service. What was it like being in service?
So I joined the Air Force in 1996, right out of high school. And when I tell you it was the best decision I ever made, I'm not even joking, because now I'm 42. I actually retired at 38, and life is good. Life is, it ain't perfect, but it's good.
Right. It's good. It's good.
It's good. Yes.
And I love how you talk about, when you retired and became a civilian again, that there were resources and things, or just, it was a kind of a little bit of a shockwave. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I was on active duty, my job was an information manager, knowledge operator. So I was trained to always get the right information to the right people at the right time so they can make the right decisions. So I always knew that the information was out there. And for me, it was about, okay, Mo, making sure that I was good because, you got to take care of self first, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know all of this stuff is out there. Why doesn't everybody else know? Why do we have all of this homelessness? Why do we have all of these issues? And so I'm like, okay, do we need to do more information dissemination? And I was like, okay, I got to get this information to the people because we should not be suffering. We should not have people going without because everything that we need is out there. We have access to it. So I wanted to make sure that everyone has access to everything that they need to be successful in the military and outside of the military.
Wonderful. So definitely targeting and focused on the veterans, about like the different resources that were out there. And so then the Mo's Heroes was born. So
Yes.
Talk about like, okay, because it's one thing to say, I want to help people kind of, make sure veterans know the information, but then this whole organization was formed and you got all of this crazy media attention around it.
Yeah. So back in 2013, I just had my son and I lived in Honolulu, Hawaii. And there was Honolulu. I'm thinking we finished Magna PI, Hawaii 5-0. I'm not thinking that I'm going to go there and see a lot of homeless people and not just homeless veterans because Hawaii is 80 degrees year round.
Wow.
So it was just like, oh my God, I was in such a shock because before I was in Hawaii, I was stationed in Korea, in Germany. So I'm just living abroad, living my best life, right? So I get back to America and I'm seeing all of this homelessness and it really shocked me. I'm not even going to front. I was so scared because I was scared like, oh my God, this could be me. Like what's so different about me than all of these other veterans who once sat in these seats and wore the uniform. So I'm gonna go back a little bit to 2011 when Michelle Obama came out with Hiring Our Heroes, and I had just got to Hawaii. I had just received my top secret clearance. So I'm like, okay, guys, I know I just got to work, but I need to stay off because I got to go see Michelle Obama. I know, y'all. I know, but I knew that I was getting to that event. And what I realized is there was a job fair and a hiring fair. And I'm like, okay, we have all of these people that want to hire our service members. We can just give our homeless veterans a makeup, help them with their resumes, help them with this and help them with that. Because I'm like, okay, the job's out here. And you got to remember too, when I joined the military, I was only 18. I didn't know what a job fair was. I didn't know what a career fair was. I never had to go to any of that. So I'm like, this kind of stuff exists. So it was just so many things that I was just really oblivious to. And, that a lot of people would probably take for granted, but I never had to do any of that. I never had to saw any of that. So I'm like, wow, what is going on here? But
wow. And so that's where the passion for helping veterans came about. Welcome to all those that are coming in. If you're like, hey, what y'all talking about? This is the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. And we're hanging out here with ShaDonna. We call her Mo McPhaul, the owner of the Mo marketing and media consulting services, proud veteran, served in the armed forces. And so Air Force, excuse me. So now you have moved fully into this media space because with starting up Mo's Heroes, again, all the crazy media attention that you got, then you decided to help other people get media attention. So why is it important to have media attention?
I believe it's important for media attention because, you need visibility. Like I said before, the resources are out there. All of the things that we need are out there, but we just need to make sure it has as many eyes as possible because what I know is that and I'm not saying people don't take you serious unless you've been seen on the news and have all of the logos and seen on Fox and featured here and featured there. But in our society, that makes a difference. That makes you credible. That makes you the expert, the authority. So even though you know what you know, it still feels like society needs you to have all of the things that says, okay, she's legit, she's real. So
That makes such a great point. And that's something that definitely my clients have heard me talk about, getting some media attention and all of that. And so I love how now you've kind of bridged the gap. So you're still focused on veterans, but you can really help any like entrepreneur, small business owner with getting some exposure. So if someone is listening and they're brand spanking new, what are some of the things that you would tell them to do if they're looking to get some media attention?
So the first thing I will tell them to do is make sure, and I have a checklist on the beautiful website, themoreyouKnow.info that Sharvette designed for me. So you can, so you can go, and I put together a checklist for that very reason, because I know so many people, they want to be on the news. They want those logos, but those media outlets, they have several requirements. You're going to have your professional photos. You're going to have your bio, your resume, any other media that you've already gotten. So I tell people, the easier that you can make it for the producer, for the journalist, for the editor, for anybody in media, the easier it will be to book you, because they're getting 1 million and 2 emails a day. They're getting phone calls and texts and all of the things. So if you can go in ready to go and have everything that they're going to ask for, you'll probably get it. If you fit their audience, if you're a right fit for their audience.
So that's really key. And I know you spent some time in radio, like actually on air. What was that like?
Yes. Oh my God. I was scared to death. So I remember, I had my own show, the Mo You Know radio show. And I just wanted to interview, because I knew it was so many people doing great things. So it was an hour long. So I had to talk for a whole hour straight. And there would be times when I didn't have a guest, and I really did not have any experience doing radio, but I knew that I was going to do this thing. They gave me an opportunity. So I would bring in all of my guests, all of my friends, and we would talk for literally an hour. And a lot of times that was their first time getting being on the radio and getting the media attention. And that's the thing that I wanted. I'm like, okay, I wanted everybody to have a shot at this media thing. So I'm like, okay, if the other stations aren't going to give them the attention, I'm gonna give it to them. So I just started doing the show, and it was awesome. It really was.
Wow. And so what are some of the services that the Mo You Know marketing and media consulting, provides?
So we do social media, and our biggest thing is public relations. I absolutely love public relations, because I tell anybody, honestly, and I'm not saying anybody can get you on the radio or anybody can get you on TV, but actually you can get yourself on the radio, because I used to sell radio too. I actually, right now I sell newspaper ads. All of the media and the advertising, you really can do yourself. But for me, public relations is every time I go into a room, I take my client's name into a room. I take that information that they're looking for. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to search out for the grants. I'm going to search out for the other opportunities, the speaking gigs, the connections. Hey, you're a good fit for this person. Such and such does this. They have what you need. Hey, y'all need to make that connection. So that is the heart of what we do.
And so a perfect client for you would be a new and emerging entrepreneur.
Yes, emerging entrepreneur that's been in business probably about 3 to 5 years, that knows, okay, they're doing the thing, but they just need more people to know that they can do the thing. So a lot of my clients now, they already know they're the stuff. They don't need me to tell them they're the stuff. They are doing it, but they just need more people to know that they're doing it.
And social media, you and I both totally agree, like that social media is important. There are other things, but social media, any guidance, any tips around leveraging social media to really promote your business or whatever you have, your nonprofit even?
Yes, absolutely. And I tell people, and I'm not the only one, because it's like I said, the process is the process. You can't be scared of social media. You cannot be scared to go live. You can't be scared to make posts. You just can't be scared of it. And I know because it is still kind of new, a lot of people are still scared of it. Oh, they're like, oh, I don't have time. Not saying what else do you have time for, or what else do you have time to do, but you have your customers more than likely are on social media. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on all of the things looking for you, looking to have their problem solved. A lot of them just be strolling, but 9 times out of 10, they all have an issue that your business can solve. So if they don't know about you, tell people no one can buy anything from you that don't know you. So they got to know you.
Okay. And you have to have something to say, right? Because some people say, well, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to say. Any tips around that, which also leads into the media, piece, because public relations, media, all of that is around a story. And so, talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So I would tell people, talk about I don't want to say talk about your greatness, but talk about what you know to talk about. Because a lot of times when we're talking about the media, these journalists and these people are looking for stories too. That's how a lot of times they get their stories, because they done seen something on Facebook. They done seen something on Instagram. So they're looking for you just as much as you're looking for them. So you have to show up. I can tell you, I know of about 3 different instances where somebody has been searching and they found me on social media and they reached out. I'm like, hey, Mo, I want to feature you because you're who I'm looking for.
Awesome. We have a question coming in from Jewel. Hey, Jewel. And so she says, I'm wanting to do a live. Got my business 5th year anniversary. Congratulations, Jewel, on that. What are your recommendations for doing a live stream? And that's pretty cool. 5 years in business.
Yeah. So, Joe, I will tell you just to do it. I don't know if you have, like right now we're on StreamYard, know what platform you're going to go on. And you can actually just do it from Facebook if you don't have StreamYard. A lot of people, that's how lives came about, from Facebook. Now we have all of these other fancy tools if you have the capability to get the StreamYard, the Zooms. But if you don't, just go live right there from Facebook on your phone or your computer or whatever you're using now. That's what you can use to go live on for Facebook.
Awesome. Go right ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I will also, like I said, when you're going, I would also promote that you're going live. Everything is about promotion. Everything is about marketing. You can just pop up one day and just say, hey, it's my 5th year, but you want to give folks something to anticipate, to let them know, hey, you're going live. And this is the time you're going live and all of that good stuff, because you want them to tune in. You want them to share it with their friends. You want them to know why they're tuning in. So, give them some nuggets before you actually do the live. And I definitely believe you will be successful.
Yeah, I concur with that advice. And if you're comfortable, she's saying she's more comfortable on Facebook, stick with Facebook so you don't have to worry about the comfort level of StreamYard. And then it sounds like you have some great content to share. Great. So Julia set up an event. So it sounds like you have some great content to share. I would actually stick with what you learned in the last 5 years. Like this is your 5th year anniversary. What have you learned over the last 5 years in business? The good, the bad, and the ugly. People love that kind of stuff. Thank you, Teresa. She's popping in saying, "Hey, Jewel." So you got a viewer that's ready, and that's ready for you. Thank you for those that are tuning in and popping in from all across the World Wide Web. We're hanging out here with ShaDonna. We call her Mo McPhaul, and this is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. And I'm your host, Sharvette Mitchell. Thank you for all those that are popping in and joining us. So let's chat about, so you can do the social media. And what's cool is that you actually can take over their social media. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what a social media takeover is, hey, I can do it for you. I can do the content, schedule the posts, do all of the things that you just don't have time for. And I can tell people, you have to, even if you don't have time to do it, you have to have a presence on social media. You have to have a presence on social media. So like I said, there are so many things that you can do with social media now. Like I said, it's the live stream. You can make the pre-recorded videos. You can have the content already designed. You can write out your post for 30 days. You can even buy, people will write out the post for you, and all you have to do is tweak it. It's so much that you can do. So I tell people, don't be scared of social media.
Awesome. So that's a service you offer. And then you also offer a media service where you will pitch them, you'll go out and actually pitch them to the media. And so what type of options do you have for that?
Yeah, so the Moapalooza, like I said, is my favorite thing to do. I told y'all Sharvette is my coach. I said, Sharvette, this is all I want to do. All I want to do. Like I said, because I know social media is needed because people are going to, when you pitch the media, they're going to go back and check your social media to make sure you don't have anything crazy, make sure you're a good fit for their audience and all of that kind of stuff. But pitching you to the media, and not, like I said, not just pitching you to the media, pitching you to other business owners, to other clients, to other people that need your services. Because like I said, anybody can pitch you to the media. You can pitch yourself to the media. But I am so about that networking piece. So about, hey, I know 5 people that need you. Because I tell you, my job is to make sure that the people that need you know you.
Yes,
so
I love that.
I just want to pitch you.
I love that. Say that tagline one more time.
My job is to make sure the people that need you know you.
Okay. There you have it. And so pitching the media, what is so let me say this, you have built a lot of relationships. You're in North Carolina. And so I think yes, people can can pitch, themselves, but there is something to say about the relationships you have built. And so you are really big on building relationships with all kinds of people. And so how important is that?
So relationships are everything. Just even how you and I got to working together. I was at a conference and and I told you I wanted to tell everybody. And give you your flowers while you're here, guys, because
thank you.
Sharvette, like I said, when I first started the Mo, I was an ambassador for Spark and Hustle, April Frank's Spark and Hustle conference. And Sharvette, you had did all of the graphics and the thing for that. And I'm like, oh my God, right before I left, I had just sent off the paperwork. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a website, didn't have nothing. So, but I got on the road, got down to Atlanta, got to that conference, and I met you. And I'm like, okay, hey, I just did this. I want to work with you. Woo. And it was so funny because after I did all of that, I had got an internship at a radio station.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I want to do this business. But I was not going to turn down an opportunity to work at the radio station either. So I kind of put the business on. I was still doing it and building up and doing all of the things. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to work for Fox 99, Beasley Media Group. And it was so amazing. I learned so much about selling radio, about relationships, about advertising. So I did that for probably a year. And like I said, it was supposed to have just been an internship. So I was supposed to go get the internship, but it ended up turning into a full-time sales job. So I'm just like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this business? So I'm like, okay, Mo, you got to get back to the business because like I said, the business was always at heart. Always, the business was always in my heart. So I just wanted to, plug you and tell you how much of a joy and how you really got me unstuck because like I said, I had nothing. So everything y'all see with the Mo, is a direct result of me working with Sharvette because I knew how to do it the Air Force way. I knew how to do it the Beasley way, but I needed to know how to do it the Mo way. And Sharvette helped get me to doing it the Mo way. So I thank you for that. But because I know I'm watching the time and I know these 30 minutes go by really fast. So I knew I had to get that in there. But as far as relationships, I saw a comment, relationships are everything because I tell people that's the reason why I am able to get all of the yeses so quick. Yes, you can go and do all of the things yourself, but that may take you way more time than you may already have. So with me going out there in the community, knowing the journalists, knowing the producers, knowing who I know, knowing the coaches, the consultants, the business owners, it makes it just that much easier for the client because they don't have to do all of the phone calls, all the back and forth emails and all of that kind of stuff. So I really tell people the relationships, you got to have those relationships and you got to take the time to nourish those relationships. And it can't just always be hey, I need something, You
can't always just come to this. And as my mother's watching, you can't, one of her friends would say, you can't just come to the table, always come to the table, just a fork and a knife.
Yeah.
You just coming to receive. Hey, Christy, who is fellow retired veteran, served in the, hey, thank you for stopping in. Awesome. Thank you for stopping in. And so you also partner with the local chamber that's in Fayetteville, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So talk about, because most cities have chambers. So that seems like a good resource or a good connection point for people, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I actually just started working with the chamber. I'm doing their public relations, and I'm also I'm doing membership. So I'm selling memberships, I'm doing PR, I'm just doing all of the things that I know how to do, because what I know, even with the even with Mo's Heroes, the chamber was the number one thing that I would tell people: join your chamber. So when I was talking to Tanisha Kerr, who was also a client,
Yeah.
I was like, Tanisha, I got to do something to help these veterans who need jobs, because you know what? The chamber are the business owners. They have the power and the authority to hire you. So I was so adamant. I'm like, okay, I need to build these relationships, because at the end of the day, my heart, like I said, is still with these veterans. So, you know, people were like, I thought you was in the veteran space. I am in the veteran space, but I have to be that voice for those veterans who need these jobs so they can get back on their feet, so they cannot be homeless anymore. So it's just
strategy. That's strategy. So did y'all hear that? Like, so connect with, if your passion, like you said, is around helping veterans who don't have a job, then you connect with organizations, with businesses who provide jobs.
Yes.
Like, that's a perfect way to have a relationship. And I think sometimes people only build relationships from what can you do for me, but you kind of step into these relationships, you jump in and you're on Facebook Live, you know, at the chamber events, and like you turn into like a little media person for them. Yeah. Hey, Michelle, thanks for popping in. Thanks for stopping by. Listen, real quick, let me just plug this. This is about relationships, right? So Michelle Wilson is hanging out here. If you are in the Virginia Beach, Tidewater area, y'all know that area. She has a retreat at the Founders Inn Hotel in Virginia Beach, which is gorgeous. And she has some day passes. It's this weekend. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But she's got some day passes and some last minute passes. So connect with Michelle Wilson right here. Definitely if you're in the Facebook space, and connect there. So yeah, and Dr. Vicky is saying wow to all of that. And Christy is saying, yes, thanks for being a voice for those in need. Collaborations are really, really great. And so I'd love for you to
shout out to Christy, because I just did her summit a couple of weeks ago, and we talked, and we got some collaborations going. So shout out to Christy, who's a Navy vet, and I just love her to death. So thanks for tuning in.
Wonderful, wonderful. And yes, Dr. Jackie said, yes, building relationships. Michelle, you are welcome. Y'all connect. And so I want to make sure, as we kind of use our time here, like you said, it's flying by. Thank you for all those that popped in and are joining us with ShaDonna Mo. We call her Mo. And that's why the Mo, marketing and media. What are all the services you provide, and how should people connect with you?
Yes. So like I was saying earlier, I can help you with your social media and your public relations. So you can connect with me. I would love for you to go to the website, www.themoknow.info. Download that checklist. We're on social media, the MoYouKnow 214. So just connect with me on social media, go to the website, and we can get some things popping for you. And like I said, if you're scared, I assure you, we will ease that fear. We will do some Facebook Live trainings. We will do some FaceTimes. We will get you out of that fear.
All right, wonderful. And the last question, the goal of my show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know, what continues to motivate you?
So the thing that continues to motivate me is when I get those wins for my clients, when they're thinking about giving up, because a lot of the clients that I work with, they are solopreneurs just like me. But I'm like, okay, guys, there are so many other people that can help you where you are. You don't have to struggle alone. You just have to stay in the fight. So what motivates me to stay in the fight is that I know other people are going to help me stay in the fight, and that I'm going to help other people stay in the fight, because the only fight you lose is the fight you gave up on.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. All right. Well, it's been great having you stop in after Thanksgiving, but before we go into the Christmas holiday and all of that. And thank you again for all of your service and how you continue to serve your customers and veterans and all of that. So I do want to point out that you don't just serve veterans. So if you're like, I want to work with her, but I'm not a veteran, that's perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great evening.
All right. There you have it. All right. I am telling you what, I love bringing and featuring all kinds of dynamic people on this show, the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, because the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And as a reminder, this segment was brought to you by my latest book collaboration. Now hold it up right. Pour The Secret Effects of Giving and Serving in Business and in Leadership. So if you're hanging out at Sharvette.com, which is the main website for this show, you can just scroll right on the homepage and pick up your copy. This is great for females, emerging leaders, entrepreneurs. And what I love about Pour is that the authors really talk about either how they were poured into in the beginning of their business or how they pour into other people. And I really, really, really think this would be a great stocking stuffer. So pick up your copy of Pour. I'll autograph it and send it on the way to you in the time for the holidays. Thank you for all of those that stopped by. Hello, Tina. Thank you so much, which is ShaDonna's cousin. Thank you for stopping in. And great. Yes. ShaDonna has typed in the address there. And if you're hanging out at Sharvette.com, or if you are listening from iTunes or any of our podcast stations, the link to her website is right there. So there you have it. And there is a free checklist on her website that you can download. So if you're getting ready for the media, she has a free checklist that you can just download and say, okay, am I ready for this? Am I ready? And I agree with my sister, Kim. Thank you for all you do. Veterans, thank you. And Tony and Winston, the only fight you lose is the one that you give up on. Wow. Great way to end the show. Again, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, your amazing host. If you are brand new to me, you can find out about me at Sharvette.com. I work with female entrepreneurs and a few lucky men to help them build their online platforms and personal brands so that they generate more revenue. And I'm hugely focused on your visibility and the marketing of your business or your product, service, or your mission. All right, that's going to be a wrap. Thanks, guys, for everyone that hung out with us today. And if you're catching this in the podcast, thank you. Go ahead and share it out. We'll see you guys next week.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Get Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m. interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.